All right. All right, should be live right now. All right, we are live. What's going on, everybody? Josh Burton in the house. Solis, Bogdan Kuch, Alina's dad, Hunter White, Param Gutulala. What is up, man? Alina's dad says Minshew is the franchise quarterback. So I decided to do this one. Live just because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. Yeah, sorry about that, Devin. Took a little longer than I thought it would, but I still got live though. I made the promise on that. But yeah, man. First, before I start this live stream, I'm just gonna start talking. I want to kind of do the recap. Then toward the end of the video, I'll start kind of taking questions and whatnot. So first things first, I am sorry about not coming out with a recap yesterday after the game. I was at the game, I drove home, and then once I got home, I kind of had to go into work and take care of some things. So, and I don't want to just like post up a quick, 4-minute video without giving like true thoughts. Like it's just not me. I want to be able to give out a quality video, not just throw one out there, just to have one out there. So, yeah, I mean, sorry about that, but the videos will always come. And at the end of the day, this YouTube channel, it's a glorified hobby. So definitely my job and everything takes precedent over this. But we're still out here with a recap video. So first I want to talk about kind of the game. I mean, Jaguars are now at the halfway point of the season. We are 4-4. And I want to go back a little bit. In 2018, we had a horrible season. We were 5-11. Last place in the AFC South. It just was not good. And really, with being so bad, there are a couple benefits to it. I mean, first of all, it allowed us to draft Josh Allen, who has been an absolute stud for us this year. 7 sacks on the season. He's just been completely balling out, and he's been awesome. And it even lets us draft Jawan Taylor a little bit later. But another thing it does is that when it comes to the NFL scheduling, in NFL scheduling, there's a total of 16 games. 6 of those games are against your division opponents because you play each opponent twice. And then you play a division in each conference. So, and like this year, we play the AFC West and we play the NFC South. And then that's 14 games. So that leaves 2 games left over. Those 2 games are against teams that are that finish the same spot as you within the AFC in the division that you don't play. So we played the 4th place team in the AFC North in 2018, which happened to be the Bengals, and we played the 14th best team from the AFC East, which happened to be the Jets. And we went 2-0 of those games. So that's one big advantage. We took care of business against teams that we were better than, and we had to do it against. I mean, if you look at like the Texans this year, they have to play against the Patriots, and they have to play against the Ravens. That's when this really benefits us, and it's pretty sweet that we got this. So to kind of recap yesterday's game, we killed it. Let's see what the final score was. The final score is 29-15, and I mean it really just seemed like we were in control of it the whole game. We'll start off kind of with the stat sheet. Gardner Minshew was 22 for 34 this game, which was a 65% completion percentage. He had 279 yards passing, 3 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. And he also knocked on 28 yards rushing after picking up a couple of first downs. So, like, what that equates to is that I actually don't have his full stats for the season. But, oh, yeah, he's that makes him a 62% completion percentage on the season, 1,976 yards, and that's 13 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. That's outstanding. I mean, if you look at the quarterback at the other side of the ball, Sam Darnold, he had 3 interceptions this game. Sam Darnold, the number 3 overall pick in 2018, had more interceptions this game than Gardner Minshew, a 6th-round rookie, has had in 8 games this season. It's really incredible what Gardner Minshew is doing for the team, and he's currently 4-3 as a starter. And I will get into the little Nick Foles versus Gardner Minshew thing after I kind of get done with this game. That'll be a little bit later in the stream. But like if you look at Fournette this game, now Fournette, he had 19 rushes for 76 yards. And he also but the thing about his stats were that he had that awesome 66-yard rush at the beginning of the game, but after that he only had 10 yards rushing after that. Most of his impact was in the passing game. He had 7 receptions for 60 yards, so he was extremely effective in the passing game. When you look at the receiving game, I mean, some of the receivers went off this game. Chris Conley, 4 receptions, 103 yards. I mean, he had that one long touchdown. He had a 70-yard touchdown reception where he just outran the Jets secondary. It was awesome. DJ Chark continues to have an outstanding season. He had 6 receptions for 79 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, he's turning into Minshew's his favorite target on the team. And he's currently on pace to have 1,320 receiving yards for 12 touchdowns. I mean, that's what, at this rate, that's what he's going to have at the end of the season. So he's been really good. And Keelan Cole had a touchdown reception this game. I mean, Keelan Cole this season has 4 receptions, and 2 of those receptions are touchdowns. And even in the Denver game, he had a crucial first down catch in that game. So he's been, he's been, when his number's called upon, he's been pretty good. Now, one thing on the offense, Minshew did tack on a fumble. Fumbling has been a problem for Minshew this season. He had a fumble loss when we were in field goal territory, so that wasn't the greatest thing ever. So he's going to have to work on that. But overall, we had 2 special teams fumbles, both on punt return. Luckily, the Jaguars were able to recover those, but Keelan Cole happened to be in the right place in the right time when D.D. Westbrook fumbled it, and the other, the punt returner, number 24, I think his name is Irvin, he had a fumble that we wound up recovering. So it's something that you got to clean up, but overall, we did recover. Now to kind of move to the defensive side of the ball. The defensive side of the ball, Trey Herndon, he continues to get better and better each game. He had 2 interceptions this game off of Sam Darnold. And even A.J. Boye had an interception. And that makes the Jaguars 4-0 with games that we turn the ball over. That we get turnovers for. So that's good. We got to keep, the turnovers seem to come in bunches for us, and that was big to be able to get those turnovers because it, obviously it stopped Sam Darnold, and it really just canceled out any rhythm that they had for that offense. Saxonville was in full force this game. 8 sacks on the game. 8 sacks against what was a pretty abysmal Jets offensive line. I mean, with Kelechi Osemele out, Kelvin Beachum was out. Khalil, the center, has been not very good this year. The Jaguars got 8 sacks. Josh Allen, complete beast. I mean, it must have really pained Jets fans to watch this game and see a guy like Josh Allen get 2 sacks when Quinnen Williams is making really no impact. I mean, Josh Allen has 7 sacks on the year, so he's on pace to have 14 sacks this year. And this is also his 5th straight game with a sack. So, I mean, Josh Allen is just, if you could build a defensive end, the defensive end is going to look like Josh Allen. The guy is just freaky athletic. And it's not even that his pass rushing technique is all that great yet. He's just so damn athletic, and he's only going to get better and better and better. And one thing that's nice about Josh Allen is the fact that he's doing all this stuff, but we're not having him tell us how good he is. Kind of like we had with Jalen Ramsey, out there every game Jalen Ramsey was talking about how he's the best cornerback in the league, this, this, and that. Josh Allen, he's just so good. He's just quietly being so good, and just his situation. He's got he's got a wife, he's got a little baby, and it just seems like he's just so focused on a game. And this guy, we have control of this guy up through 2023. Shout out to C. Skidzy with a $3 donation. I met him a couple times at the last couple Jags game. Anybody you see a Jaguar shirt for me, so shout out to Connor Skidzy. Thank you so much for the $3 donation. But Josh Allen, complete beast. It's such a... I can't believe that he fell to us at number 7. And like I said, man, we have control of him through 2023. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Josh Allen in these, upcoming years. So really excited about that. Yannick Ngakoue, he seems to be getting healthier. He had 2 sacks this game. I mean, he was dealing with a little bit of a hamstring injury early in the season. A lot of us were wondering, like, what the heck is up with Yannick Ngakoue? Why isn't he producing? But he's been getting better and better, and he was an absolute beast this game. Bradley Pritchard with a $2 donation. Wish I could have seen you yesterday. Yeah, sorry about, I saw you message me. My bad. I was up in my seats, and I just sometimes it's hard to meet up with fans at games. Not gonna lie. I should have just tweeted out where I was sitting, but I apologize for that, man. Campbell had 1.5 sacks this game. He obviously that's good. Smoot had his 4th sack of the season. He's just really improving. I mean, he's been playing the interior of the ball a lot, and he's been. I mean, for the longest time, we're like, why the hell is this guy even on the roster? But Smoot, he's such a good guy. It's so awesome to see him be playing well. So just a big shout out to DeJuan Smoot. Ronnie Harrison tacked on a sack this game. He's been a beast. Now, it's a little concerning, though, because it seems like every game he's getting injured. Now, luckily, he's not really missing game time, but, every game, it's like I feel like he's down on the field with an injury. Hopefully he's back next week, because we're going to need him next week against Deshaun Watson. And Avery Jones tacked up half of a sack, so, huge shout out to that. Shout out to Jax for the $2 donation. Yo, it's Hunter. Thanks for that shirt. It's soft. Yeah, man. Another guy, Jax, he bought a shirt from me. If you guys are interested in some merch, I have the link to one of my shirts down below. If you guys purchase a shirt, you will not only get a shirt from me, but you will also get an autographed photo from me. So it's pretty cool, man. If you guys, it's a good way to support the channel. So if you guys want a shirt, really good material. The shirts, it's a better material than this Jaguar shirt that I'm actually wearing right now from the official Jaguars team. So it's pretty good. And another big shot I want to give on the defensive line is Taven Bryan. Taven Bryan, man, he's been doing a lot better. And he's a guy that I really stuck up for during the season, or during the preseason, because a lot of people were saying, oh, we need to cut this guy. This guy's a complete bust. And, I looked at him and said, what qualities do I like? I saw that he was powerful. I really liked his bull rush. And one thing that he did this game was he literally took, I think it was the guard, and just pushed him back. He threw him on, Sam Darnold already got sacked. I think Calais Campbell sacked him, but man, he literally threw the guard right onto Sam Darnold. The guy is extremely powerful, and once the guy gets more comfortable, just in the system, and just gets more comfortable, with the speed in the NFL, he has all the tools to be great. So I'm just, Taven Bryan, you also have to look at him as a lot different than most of our first round picks, because a lot of times, our first round picks are coming in the top 5. We had, Luke Jokel get drafted at number 2. You had Blake Bortles number 3. You had Leonard Fournette number 4, Jalen Ramsey number 5, Josh Allen number 7. Taven Bryan was all the way at pick number 29. So you have to almost evaluate him at look at him like a player like Jawan Taylor or Cam Robinson, or one of these guys that he gets at the top of the second round, because it's a lot different. But he's not necessarily where he needs to be, but he's doing better, and he's a highly productive player. And we can get into the whole, but Lamar Jackson was there. We could get into that every year. 2017, Mahomes, Watson was there. 2018, obviously, Lamar Jackson was there. But some other guys, Will Hernandez, he's doing all right. Hayden Hurst, he's like the 3rd best tight end for the Ravens. And you always need defensive line depth. And especially with Marcel Darius being out, Taven Bryan's a huge part of this team. So hopefully he keeps getting better, but just a big shout out to him for what he's been doing. And I also want to give a big shout out to Austin Calitro. He actually, he was a linebacker that filled in at the weak side linebacker spot. And, he had 7 tackles this game, led the team in tackles with 7 tackles. 1 tackle for a loss and 1 QB hit. So the defense really stood out. I think they held Le'Veon Bell to like 32 rushing yards. And the defense, the rush defense after allowing like 190 yards to what's his face, Christian McCaffrey. They've been locking down the running game. They locked down Kamara the next week that held Joe Mixon to 2 rushing yards. I think Le'Veon Bell had like 9 carries for like 23 yards. The rush defense, they've been doing a lot better. And last time we played the Houston Texans, Carlos Hyde kind of ran all over us. Hopefully we do better in that category. And we match up pretty well against the Texans, so hopefully we do better like on that end. And now that I kind of pointed out all those different things, the Jaguars are 4-4 right now. And quite frankly, there are things that we need to get better at. And we have an extremely important 3 games coming up, guys. Coming up right now, we have 3 divisional games. 3 divisional games. And the next time we play a division game is week 17. So, God, we have to go at least 2-1 these next 3 games. Obviously, 3-0 is ideal, but we have to be at least 2-1, and 1-2 is unacceptable. We cannot go 1-2 this down the stretch. If we go 1-2, then we can pretty much count ourselves out of the division race, especially with Indianapolis sitting at 5-2 right now. We could get lucky and squeak in with a wild card, like if we kind of win out from there. But we should hopefully go 3-0. These next several games. But some things we have to fix is I think that's an Australian $10 donation. Shout out to Black Dynamite. We international out here. So shout out from Australia, bro. Keep up the good content. Hopefully make it over for a game next season. Yeah, man. Nothing like a game in Duval, but really appreciate the what is the Australian? What do they call it out there? I forget, but the Australian $10. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, Fournette obviously he had 76 yards rushing. It's really skewed because 66 yards came off of that one run, and then from that moment, in the rest of the 3 quarters, only 10 yards rushing. That has to be fixed. And I think a lot of it was kind of the play calling. I actually think John DeFilippo is doing a pretty good job when it comes to play calling this year. I haven't had too many complaints about it, but this game, I just thought that we were doing so good in the passing game, and we were just trying too hard to get the run game going. And we were running it on first down way too often. We'd run it on first down, we get no yardage. And then, next thing you know, we'd have Gardner Minshew in a 3rd and 7, a 3rd and 9, a 3rd and 11. Duncan with the $2 donation, he said, "What's up, UCF? I hope to see an early morning beatdown Sunday." Yeah, man. Thanks, Duncan, for the donation. I will be live streaming the game bright and early at 9:30 a.m. So definitely see me out there. But like I said, man, Gardner Minshew, he's throwing out here on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9, and I give him a lot of credit. He was converting these 3rd and longs. I give him a lot of credit for that. However, you're not going to be able to do that every game. And I just think that, after we'd convert these 3rd downs, next thing you know, we'd run it again on 1st down. And it would lead to another 3rd and long. So I really think that we need to be throwing the ball to set up for the run game. I thought we need to do more play actions. And if you guys are this is the state of our tight end game right now. If you guys are in going to Jaguar games, you hear so many times a game, number 77 is an eligible receiver. Number 77 is eligible. That's literally them putting an extra offensive tackle, Cedric Ogbuehi, in the game to play tight end. And whenever he's in there, they're going to run the ball 100% of the time. At least that's what they've been doing. Now, one thing that I think we may do next game is I have a feeling that Cedric Ogbuehi, they're going to attempt to throw a touchdown pass to him. I'm just calling it now because every single time Cedric Ogbuehi reports in as tight end, they run the ball. But I could see them mixing it up and trying to throw the ball to him. I'm not sure how it would work. Last year they tried to do it with Tyler Shatley, but it got shut down. Like I could see it coming, but that's kind of a bold take I have. But yeah, like it's just maybe I don't know if we can try. There's not going to be somebody on the streets that could tight end run block for us, or else we would go out there and try to. We would probably already sign him because it's pretty unideal. Like that's one reason why I wanted Hawkinson in the draft. Now when Josh Allen was there, obviously the pick was Josh Allen. But to be quite frank with you, I did not expect my favorite NFL draft analyst out there, Mike Mayock, to draft Cleveland Farrell instead of a guy like Josh Allen. And of course, a couple of quarterbacks went before us. Nobody saw Daniel Jones going at 6. So, I mean, he just Josh Allen fell into our laps, and we would have been stupid to reach for a tight end right there. But that's one reason why I wanted a guy like TJ Hawkinson, because if you can get a tight end in there, and it's so hard to find a tight end that can both run block and be a threat in the passing game, kind of like a guy like Gronkowski. Like, so few guys can be that size, but also be a threat, be super athletic in the pass game. And it would be so awesome to have a player like that. But there's so few of them in the NFL, and that's one reason why it'd be nice to have that. But we went Josh Allen, and that was the right pick. Obviously, I mean, look at him right now. He's got freaking 7 sacks, beast in the run game, and his best football is only ahead of him. But I mean, that's just the thing, man. Like, we couldn't get the run game going. But, I mean, hopefully against the Texans. I mean, the Texans, the New York Jets actually have a really good run defense. Leonard Williams did really good this game. But going forward, the friggin' Houston Texans are pretty beat up right now. J.J. Watt just got put on the IR. He's going to miss the rest of the season. Jadeveon Clowney, he's another guy that, is no longer on the team. So the Jaguars should be able to run on these guys, much like they did against the Bengals. So I'm definitely looking out for that. Another thing that kind of drove me nuts, and that's continuing to be an issue. It's been an issue for us in these last 3 games, is the red zone offense. The Jaguars have not been converting touchdowns in the red zone. And a big reason for that is that we're not running the ball well. We haven't been running the ball in the red zone very well. And it's kind of unideal to pass in the red zone just because it's a lot smaller than an area, so it's much... it's a lot less space for the wide receivers to run around. There's not a lot more, defensive backs and linebackers back there sitting in zones in the, in that, in the end zone. So, I mean, if we can run the ball better, another thing I'd like to maybe do more in the red zone is, and not many people call for this, but I think that our team would be good at it, is just maybe try bubble screens. I mean, D.D. Westbrook is a guy that's really good with the ball, in space when he has to move around. And we also have some really good blocking wide receivers. We have guys like Keelan Cole is actually really good at run blocking at the wide receiver position when it comes to downfield blocking. Marquise Lee is also really good at that. That's the main reason why we see Marquise Lee in the game. He's not getting receptions. He's in there mainly just doing some run blocking. And even Chris Conley is out there run blocking. So I think that'd be a really good thing to do. And another note, like I love our wide receiving core right now. I mean, granted, it would be nice and potentially have like a burner, like a deep threat, kind of like a guy like a Deshaun Jackson kind of plays, or like a Robbie Anderson, just a speedy dude that can get downfield and take the top on a defense. But we have a really selfless wide receiver group, and it really seems like all these guys really like each other, and all these guys really care for each other. We don't have guys like Dante Moncrief out there half-assing it on his routes. I mean, even a couple years ago in 2016, week 1 against the Packers, I know a lot of you guys probably remember this play, but we needed to convert a first down in the red zone. I think it was a 4th down. We were down by less than a touchdown or something like that, and we call a bubble screen to Allen Hurns. And the guy that's blocking for him was Allen Robinson. And he did such a half-assed job at blocking. And Allen Robinson was a guy that was all about his numbers. He didn't really care about much else. He just wanted his numbers. He wanted to be a Pro Bowl. I mean, if you look at his Twitter profile, it literally says Pro Bowl wide receiver for the Bears. I mean, he made one Pro Bowl 4 years ago. You know, I mean, he's all about just kind of himself. But, you know, I kind of went out on the tangent there. But, you know, I would maybe try some bubble screens in there. Some play action, for God's sake. I mean, if we're going to keep running the ball, try a play action. You know, try to roll out or something like that. Bootleg it. I mean, those plays always seem to work pretty well. So, I mean, and especially with Gardner Minshew on the run, I mean, the guy's really good. So, I mean, he's just been a lot of fun. And, you know, with these games, I mean, we keep settling for field goals in the red zone. And, you know, you can win games against the Bengals when you do that. You can win games when you're against the Jets and do that. But we lost to the Saints because of that. You know, we lost to the Saints because we couldn't convert touchdowns in the red zone. And, you know, even in these last couple games, like against the Jets and Bengals, we completely dominated the stat sheet. We were like doubling them up in like yards. We were like doubling them up in first downs. But like the score is so close. Like the Bengals game, we were losing against the Bengals at halftime. We were losing against the Bengals at the end of the third quarter. I mean, but we pulled out and won that. And even the Jets game, it was in the fourth quarter, and we were only up 7 points. I mean, that's when you're dominating the you know, the stats like that. We need to just be blowing them out. We can't have them hanging around. And you know, as much as I love Lambeau, as much as I love, you know, all that stuff, we've got to get touchdowns, because guess what? These next three opponents, the Texans, the Colts, and the Titans, it's not going to work against them. You know what I mean? Like, it'll work against shit teams like the Jets and Bengals, but we've got to convert. We've got to be getting touchdowns. It's an issue, and, you know, it's not something that we need to work on. It's something that we have to fix. You know, we've known about this issue for 3 games, and it hasn't been fixed just yet. So, you know, I'm hoping we can make adjustments and do stuff like that. So, I mean, that's just, you know, that's just a big thing. And we have 148 people in here, man. If you guys are enjoying this stream, man, definitely drop a like. I'll get to y'all's questions kind of after I'm done talking. You guys all know probably why I did a live stream. I've already been live for 27 minutes. I'm just doing a little bit of monologue. But, you know, with all that said, now comes the real debate, guys. Here comes the real debate. I mean, we were talking about it after the Titans game, after, you know, the Broncos game, but it seems so far away. But we're almost here, guys. Gardner Minshew versus Nick Foles. Like, Nick Foles is eligible to return right after the bye week. So, you know, one more game. Do we know for sure that Minshew is a starting quarterback? Shout out to Duncan for the $2 donation. He says, how we go from the best red zone offense to the worst. Yeah, and that's one thing that's very strange. Under Blake Bortles, we were actually very good in the red zone. And, I mean, Blake Bortles is just not a very good quarterback. But we were somehow able to convert all these things. And maybe, I mean, Leonard Fournette had a lot more touchdowns last year and this years before. So Leonard Fournette isn't getting in the red zone as much. And, I mean, Leonard Fournette has 1 touchdown this year. So it's just crazy seeing where he is statistically when it comes to rushing yards and, you know, scrimmage yards. You know, he has over 1,000 scrimmage yards right now. He's getting a lot of reps, but he's just not, I don't know, he's just not getting touchdowns. So, kind of driving fantasy owners nuts, but whatever. Now, Foles versus Minshew. The needle for me has been swaying back and forth. Last week, I wanted like Nick Foles to probably be quarterback coming back. But then, after Minshew does this kind of game, and you look at Minshew, and it's like, you know, he makes these plays where he scrambles and throws for a touchdown. Like that play where, you know, he rolled out right, he juked the guy and threw it to Chark. Like, you look at that and it's like, Nick Foles can't do that. Nick Foles can't escape some of the pressure. Now, granted, maybe Nick Foles makes a different read and throws it to a different guy. You know, but, I mean, some of the athletic stuff that he does, he can't do. And really, with the state of offensive line nowadays, and I repeat this so much, like, a lot of people complain about our offensive line. Our offensive line really isn't all that bad if you compare it to other offensive lines around the NFL. Like, granted, there's 180 starting offensive linemen in the NFL. So granted, like it's much like running backs or wide receivers. You have about maybe 10 to 15 elite wide receivers. That's maybe being generous. Yeah, maybe 10 to 15 elite running backs. And then you have your guys that are, good. You have your guys that are average. And you have a bunch of guys that are below average. The 120th best running back in the NFL through the 180th best running back in the NFL are homeless on the. They're not in the NFL. You know what I mean? They're out on the street somewhere. And that's literally like taking those guys and starting them somewhere. So you're going to have your weak spots on the offensive line. And that's all around the NFL. That's just the state of the offensive line. So I mean, so I don't want to hear the thing where it's like, oh, we can't start Nick Foles because our offensive line stinks. I mean, you got to kind of work with it. I mean, you have guys like, and you can, when it comes to the scramble ability, I mean, I do think sometimes with Minshew, it's like the mental clock is going off too soon. It seems like he's pulling the ball away and scrambling a little bit too early. When you compare to guys that have like super good footwork, I mean, like when I think back on Peyton Manning, like, I mean, he wasn't fast. He wasn't really all that athletic at all. The only time he'd run a ball are on these QB sneaks that he would do. But man, the guy, like, he would just stand like this and just move. He would feel pressure, move up the pocket, move around the pocket, move up, move back, and just keep his eyes downfield as 260-pound guys are coming all different directions and you throw the ball downfield. Nick Foles is also a guy that's got pretty good footwork. Now, Peyton Manning, it's a hell of a comparison, but, that's one way that you get away with, not being a super fast or a good, like, scrambling quarterback, is just having good pocket presence and good feel of pressure and just moving around the pocket like that. But the tough thing about, like, Minshew versus Nick Foles right now is, first of all, like, Minshew is the hot hand. Second of all, like, if the situation comes where Minshew wins this game, Minshew would then be 5-4. Wait, what would he be? Let me see. Give me 1 second. He would be 5-3 as an NFL starter. And the thing is, like, when Nick Foles comes back, he's going to have to, I mean, he's going to be a little bit rusty. He's going to have some Russia knockoff. David Bryan with the $5 donation, he says, Minshew magic. And that's the thing, like, I'm kind of more swaying toward Minshew now. Just because, I mean, he's proven to be pretty consistent. And the thing is, like, when Nick Foles comes back, like I said, he's going to have he's going to be rusty. But there's no time for rust. We have the Indianapolis Colts after he comes back. The Indianapolis Colts are 5-2. They're at the top of the division. If the season ended right now, they would have a not only would they be the AFC South winners, they would have a playoff bye. They would have a first round bye. And like we don't have any time for Nick Foles to knock off rust. It'd be different if, say, after the bye week we had like the Bengals and then the Jets. Then you have a little bit of room for error. We don't have that against the Colts. We have no room for error. Minshew already has he already has what is the word, chemistry with our wide receivers, with the offense. Like, he already has that chemistry, and if he comes in here with a 3-game win streak after just knocking off the Texans, I mean, it's I just don't. It'll be so hard for me to go back to Foles. It like really will. Shout out to Duncan with the $5 donation. I think Minshew just needs a tight end. Yeah, man. I mean, and Josh Oliver. Shout out to him. He's getting a little bit more reps. He had a really big catch this game that put the ball at the 1-yard line, which I believe later led to a touchdown. So that was good. That led to the Fournette up the middle, then the Fournette pitch, and then Gardner Minshew bailed us out. But yeah, thank you for the donation to Duncan and David Bryan, both donated $5 hollers. But man, like, we just don't. And it's not like the Saints where it's like, oh, you're Teddy Bridgewater, he's on a feeder, you're sitting him and you're getting Drew Brees. Nick Foles is not Drew Brees. Nick Foles isn't Drew Brees. Drew Brees is much better than Nick Foles. And what is Nick Foles? What is he, a top 15 quarterback? What is Minshew right now? I mean, top 15, top 20? I don't know, man. I mean, the thing is, it's a hell of a problem to have. Right now, at this time last year, we were trying to decide who sucked less, Blake Bortles or Cody Kessler. It was such a bad situation. This year, we have Foles, a Super Bowl MVP, and Gardner Minshew, who we cashed in a lottery ticket for. 6th-round pick? Are you kidding me? Shout out to Bradley with a $2 donation, man. Chark plus Minshew will be elite combo for years. Yeah, man. Thank you for the donation. It's awesome. I mean, it really is awesome, man. You know, it's such a tough thing right now. It's like, I mean, and there may not be a wrong answer. There really may not be. And Gardner Minshew could very well be the future of the Jaguars, and we could still be starting Nick Foles. But, I mean, I'm so glad I don't have to make this decision. I would be... And a lot of people are saying, oh, like, you know, I think the Jaguars coaching staff definitely goes back to Nick Foles. Like, are they, though? Like, I wonder if, like, because obviously Doug Marrone's going to be the guy to make this decision. You know, I imagine he's going to be talking to Dave Caldwell and Tom Coughlin about it, but I wonder if he talks to the players about it. I wonder if he brings in a veteran like Chris Conley and says, Chris, you know, you've been all around the NFL, you've played with Nick Foles, you've, you know, back in the Kansas City Chiefs, you're playing with Gardner Minshew right now, you're obviously having a career year, you're on pace to have a career year right now. Like, what would you do? Brandon Linder, you're captain of this team. You're the center. Like, what would you rather have right now? Shout out to Duncan for the $1 donation. Thank you guys all so much for the donations, man. Really means a lot. Really helps out the channel. I love talking Jaguars. I love being able to provide you guys with Jaguars content in a different manner than most. It's cool, man. I enjoy it. Thank you guys. So, I mean, like, I don't know what they do. And honestly, like, this game's gonna, but first things first, we got to take care of business against the Texans. And I'm actually pretty confident about this Texans game. Like, I really am, just because I think we match up really well. They are so damn injured right now. Like, they are right now. I mean, Tunsil got left last week with an injury. Their defensive line is getting injured. J.J. Watt just got put on a shelf for the year. Lonnie Johnson, one of their defensive backs, like, he's hurt. I mean, they're just so damn injured, and we could literally just punch them in the mouth with a ball. Like, I really think that's the get-right game for the thing. So if that happens, and, you know, if Gardner Minshew goes out there and throws 2 touchdowns, 240 yards, he's still good about, you know, taking care of the ball through the air. Like, I just don't see how you can get rid of the hot hand, especially in the most important 3-game stretch of the season. These next 3 games, guys, all division games. And the next division game after that isn't until week 17. So it's like, man. And then, you know, right now, I mean, thank God we're in the AFC, because the NFC, I mean, like, 10-6 probably gets us into playoffs for a wild card spot at the very least. In the NFC, man, I mean, you could like, a team may go 11-5 and miss out on the playoffs just because you know, you had the Vikings in second place with like 2 losses. Over in the NFC West, the Seahawks have like 2 losses. They're in there. I mean, hell, the Rams right now I think are like 5-3, and, you know, they're out of the playoff picture. And hopefully they don't make the playoffs so we can get a top 20 pick. That'd be awesome. But, man, it's you know, it's crazy. And shout out to I got 211 people on here, man. Definitely one of my biggest audiences for this. I see a lot of you guys aren't watching this Tank Bowl going on right now. So yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation right now. I mean, obviously we have to see what happens this next game, but we're going to have a serious discussion. And, I mean, we might not know for a couple weeks, because usually after the bye week, they give the players a week off. So we might not know until, you know, 8 or 9 days after the Houston game on who's going to start. So it's going to be interesting. But one thing that I really did want to touch on is just the the kind of impact that we're having from guys on rookie contracts. And we can trash Dave Caldwell for a lot of the drafts. I mean, the 2013 draft was horrible. Only Cyprian is still in the league. The 2014 draft was pretty good, but man, like, if you look at the kind of impact we're getting right now from rookies, I mean, Gardner Minshew, 6th-round rookie, doing terrific. Fournette, he's on his rookie contract. He's leading the AFC in rushing yards. DJ Chark's leading the AFC in receiving yards. He's on a rookie contract, 2nd year. You have guys like, Trey Herndon. Trey Herndon, not to be mistaken, he's not a rookie. A lot of people say he's an undrafted rookie. He's not a rookie. This is his 2nd year. But, I mean, he's only getting better and better. Like, Trey Herndon would probably start on at least, 6 or 7 NFL teams. I mean, the Eagles would probably trade for him right now. You know what I'm saying? And, obviously you have, guys like, Josh Allen is doing terrific. Yannick Ngakoue's on a rookie contract. Smoot is out here with 4 sacks this year. Ronnie Harrison in the backfield. He's doing great. And it's just, even Taven Bryan is doing good. The offensive line, we have 2 pretty good tackles. Cam Robinson is pretty good. Juwan Taylor is going to be, I think, a really good right tackle. And, I mean, you're starting to look at it. The foundation of the team is really good. We have a lot of really young guys having real good impact. And you want to talk about the future of this team? We have 2 first-round picks in 2020. 2 first-round picks in 2021. All for a guy that was a complete asshole. And, I mean, he's out here. I mean, and the team looks like they're having fun without him. The team is playing really good right now. The team is 2-0 without him. They've got guys like Trey Herndon stepping up. And, you just saw last week, he got burnt by Erickson for, a good amount of yards. And, a lot of people talk about, Trey Herndon gets beat and everything. Even Jalen Ramsey got beat. And at this time, in the NFL nowadays, man, back in the day, it used to be so important to be able to have a guy that locks onto a number 1 receiver and, cancels them out. Shuts them out for the game. But nowadays, with so many, good number 2 wide receivers, if somebody, really locks down DJ Chark in our team, we still have D.D. Westbrook. We still have Chris Conley. Over on the Falcons, if you shut out Julio Jones, they still have, Calvin Ridley. They still have, they used to have Sanu, but they still have, Austin Hooper. Now the tight ends are making much bigger impacts in the game. Over on, New Orleans Saints, if you're going to lock down Michael Thomas, they still have, what's his face out of UCF, Traquan Smith, Ted Ginn's playing at a good level. The running backs are all well. So, nowadays, man, if you just lock down one player, they're just going to pass it to the rest of them. Jalen Ramsey did pretty good against DeAndre Hopkins the last time we played him, but, they still won the game because other guys step up and do stuff. So, really the most important part of the defense is being able to have pass rushers. So, we got to pay Yannick. That is, we're at the situation right now where I feel like our roster is good enough where we don't have to spend a bunch of money like we have in the past on guys like Malik Jackson, Julius Thomas, to Sean Gibson, guys on other teams to come in and make impacts for us. We got to just find ways to keep our in-house guys, pay Yannick. We've got the money to do it. Pony up and get him. We really don't have to splurge much in the offseason, and we've got the draft capital. Just keep drafting guys. That's really the main thing. And last thing I want to say before I get into questions. I'm going to get into questions after this, but I just want to say this, guys. Enjoy it. Enjoy it where we're at right now. Just because, right now it's so fun. Because we are playing meaningful games at the 3rd quarter of the season. In the last decade, take out 2017, we've been pretty much out of it at this point. We've just had some god-awful teams, whether we be 0-8, 1-7, 2-6. Last year we were sitting at this point 3-5, and we were in a clear spiral out of control. Right now we're 4-4. We're playing meaningful games. We're can still win a division. We're if you look at the wild, pretty soon you're going to be seeing these playoff picture visuals are going to be coming in. Jaguars are the first team on the bubble. They're the first team in the hunt, right behind the Bills and right behind the like Houston Texans. And, it does kind of suck right now because, like, the Bills were just granted with such an easy schedule this year because literally a quarter of their games are against the Jets and the Dolphins, so those should be easy wins. They're also playing the AFC North, and only the Ravens are really worth a shit in that division. You have the Steelers, who last time I checked are losing 14-0 to the damn Dolphins. They have the Bengals. They have the Browns, who are like disappointment 2-5. They have the NFC East they play, so like Dallas and Eagles are average to above average. And other than that, you have the Redskins and Giants. I mean, they just got such an easy schedule. So I mean, it kind of sucks, but whatever. So hopefully they can lose. So we got to start rooting for the Bills to lose, even if they're playing the Patriots, just because. With the way that the Colts are playing right now, they're 5-2. Luckily, we have 2 more games against the Colts, and usually we play pretty good against the Colts. But I mean, even just enjoy this right now, guys, because just being with Jet Central this weekend, we went to the Jaguars game together, and he's sitting here. His team is like 1-6 right now. He hates the organization. The roster, like Sam Darnold isn't playing well. The draft picks haven't been working out, and like, you look at the future of their team, and like you just think that this Adam Gase guy has set them so far back, and they're out of it. And like, can you imagine right now, just like the games are so painful where you're just wanting the season to end? Hell, I don't have to explain that to you guys. We've all been through it. If you've been a fan for the Jaguars for only like 5 years, you guys all know the feeling. It's not fun. It sucks. And right now we have meaningful games in the third quarter of the season. We have the London game coming up. We play really good in London. I think us against Houston is going to be a really good matchup, especially with with Fuller out. Of course, it's going to be different because usually this game the first thing you talk about is, oh sweet, Jalen Ramsey versus DeAndre Hopkins. It's not going to be like that this game for the first time since 2015. So that'll be different. That'll be tough, but I think that we match up really well against them offensively. So. God, if we can go into the bye week 5-4, that would be freaking awesome. And it's a good division that we're in, so let's just enjoy this, man. Let's just enjoy this. So, with that, I've been going on for 47 minutes right now. The stream is going on, so I'll go and if you guys have any questions for me now, definitely drop them in the comments, and I will read them and answer. Alex Beach says, trade Foles to the Bears for first-round pick. We wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, if you trade Foles, you'd be lucky to get a 7th-round pick for Nick Foles because very few teams are going to want to take on that contract. So, yeah. Bogdan says, Dolphins are winning. Okay. Austin says, do you have any shirts left? I'm starting a new job soon, so I'd love to get one. I'm from Wyoming. I've been watching YouTube videos. Yeah, man. I have some, let me go grab a shirt real quick. So yeah, I have these shirts available for sale. They're really awesome. They're really good quality. Very soft cotton. This shirt feels better than the shirt I got from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I mail these out for every shirt that is ordered. I actually personally everyone also gets like a 4x6 picture. Let's see if you guys can see that. A 4x6 picture, and I actually sign it, like I autograph it for you guys and leave like a note on it for the back of you. So it's a really good way to support the channel. it supports me. I'm an independent kind of guy. I do videos and stuff for Generation Jaguar, but I don't really get paid by them or anything. I don't get paid. I get like YouTube ad revenue, but other than that, just like super chats and stuff. So it's definitely a good way to support the channel. For just a Jags YouTube channel, it's something that's, pretty unique, I think. And, it's something that I enjoy doing. And, yeah, definitely helps me out. So the link, if you guys want a shirt, it's down in the description box. Jay said, trade for a Ravens tight end. And that's an interesting question. I didn't get into the trade deadline. So I'll go ahead and do that. I wouldn't mind trading for Hayden Hurst, but, I don't want to give up too much for him. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, I'm not a big guy that likes to trade away draft picks because like you get these draft picks and they're on very, very cheap contracts, and you get them locked down for 4 years. That's like when I went through earlier, all the impact we're getting from rookies. Like DJ Chark is super cheap. These third round picks like Yannick Ngakoue is cheap right now. All these guys are very, very cheap, and like I don't like to trade away draft picks. I don't mind trading away like 5th, 6th, 7th round picks, but those top 4 round picks I really like. So I see some of these like Ravens fans talking stupid, like they want to trade Hayden Hurst for Yannick Ngakoue. Yeah, we want to trade our one of the best pass rushers in the NFL for the 3rd best tight end on your team. Yeah, count me out on that. And Ravens fans and Eagles fans just want to trade for everybody. So if in all these, I see all this talk about Yannick Ngakoue trade. Look, if anybody wants to trade Yannick Ngakoue, I'm not having a discussion unless it starts with a 1st round pick. And the only way I'm trading Yannick Ngakoue is if they absolutely do not think that they can re-sign Ngakoue. And if they're not going to do it, that's the only way I would. But if we don't sign Yannick Ngakoue, then really shame on the Jaguars that you couldn't extend Jalen Ramsey or Yannick Ngakoue. Granted, I wouldn't even want Jalen Ramsey after the kind of turd that he's turned into, but Yannick Ngakoue, he's a vocal leader. If you look at these mic'd up segments, he's in there talking to the team, pumping them up. He's a vocal leader. He's not a guy that sits in the back with his mouth shut. Don't trade Yannick. And especially if we want to actually be a playoff team, because when you look at us, if we were to go through the playoffs, it'd be so tough to beat a team like the Patriots or the Chiefs, because they got, especially the Chiefs, they just have more talent than us, especially offensively. If you look at the Patriots, they've got the whole Belichick, Brady system going on. They're very, very good. They'll always be good. They're just a juggernaut. And if you take off Yannick, that's a huge blow to the team. Man, you want a player like that on the team. So extend Yannick. Pass rush. Sacksonville. When we get 8 sacks on Darnold, it changes the game. And when you're getting sacks, when you're getting quarterback hits, even when the quarterback has is in a pocket, it affects throws because they're constantly afraid they're gonna get hit and they don't get comfortable. So gotta pay Yannick, and especially he's playing at such a high level. Find a way to get him. And if we're gonna explore the trade deadline, I would look at. The only position I look at is mainly like tight end, maybe some defensive tackle depth on the interior, because you can always use defensive linemen. But other than that, I'm kind of fine with the way it looks right now. I really am. I wouldn't mind a situation like a few years ago in 2017, we got Marcel Darius for a 5th round pick, but that was more of a contract dump. Look, if we want to get another team that wants to contract dump a player to us, that's, a high level player, that's fine. But, a lot of people are bringing up the Trent Williams guy, the left tackle for the Redskins. I'm not really interested in that because they're going to want a 1st round pick for him, and that's just a little bit too rich for me. So, no, I'm good on that. So, Chris says, no video with Jet Central to smack talk. Disappointing. Yeah, I don't really have much time. Jet Central came over here late Saturday night, and then we kind of went over to the game. There really wasn't much time to do videos because he left right after we went back home. Timmy says, we could get a tight end in the draft. Yeah, everything's looking good right now. I would definitely look to explore some tight ends in the draft because Josh Oliver, he's coming on a little bit slow. But really, man, the big thing is we just have to we got to get best available player. That's the main thing. Josh Allen, best available player. Defensive end wasn't the top need, but it's looking really good right now for us, man. What's going on, Nick? Jesse Kelly, do you think Josh Allen will win Rookie of the Year? It's between him and Nick Bosa, and naturally, Nick Bosa might get the nod. If it's a tiebreaker, the tiebreaker is going to go to Nick Bosa because we're the Jaguars, and we don't really win many of those things, not in the national spotlight as much. Gene says, Bears need to contact us for Nick Foles ASAP. That's another thing, man. We could do some damage if Nick Foles' contract was off of our books. I mean, man, we would really be able to be free agent spinners, and having a six round pick as our quarterback. I mean, that just allows us to splurge all over. We can actually be like real players in free agency, as well as having all these damn first round picks. So that's pretty awesome. Duval Tilwidai says score prediction. I really hate score predictions, but let's go 27-24 Jaguars. Param, I am going to the Bucks game. Aaron says yes, keep Calais. So I'll keep on for another 5 minutes. I like to keep these about an hour long. Makes it for a good podcast when I'm done. This guy right here says we need to keep Calais Campbell. Period. Yeah, we do. And people that say, oh, Calais, we need to get rid of him. He's getting older. He's not really regressing much. The guy takes really good care of his body. He's coming off 1 point. He had 1.5 sacks last game. He's got plenty of sacks on the year. He's just a really good leader. I mean, let's keep him around. Antonio, do you think Telvin comes back next year? I don't know. I saw him a picture of him at the Reigns game. Right, he was at a high school game, and he's just so skinny and I couldn't see him coming back playing under the contract that he's at. And we just invested a 3rd round pick in Quincy Williams, so I imagine they'd rather just not have that contract on the books, especially since you're paying Miles Jack a lot of money. And the guys had no communication with the Jaguars. They tried to contact him in an OTA period. He didn't respond back, and the Jaguars didn't know he was taking a year off. They knew at the same time we did when he posted that thing on Instagram. So it's just super weird, man. Hey, shout out to Rando with the $2 donation. He says, "What's up, UCF? Let's talk about Josh Allen, the GOAT. He's good, man. 7 sacks so far this year. He's had a sack in each of the last 5 games. He's on pace for 14 sacks. What more can you say from this guy? And he's just a perfect build for a defensive end. It's so much fun having him, and he only has his best football ahead of him, and I just can't believe a guy like this fell to our laps at number 7. And this guy's gonna be a real asset, and he's gonna be on our team, through like 2023. So it's outstanding. Nut Nasty says, Ravens fan here, love your channel, bro. Hey, I appreciate that. Aaron says Brian is playing good. Yeah, man, he is playing good. Austin Hughes, from what I heard, I'd getting Telvin Smith down. Okay. Murgris says, thoughts on linebacker Isaiah Simmons from Clemson. I haven't watched too many prospects yet. I'm just having I'm not a big college football guy. I'm more into NFL, really. And I like to watch UCF. Other than that, there's just so much college football games going on. It's kind of crazy. Rando with another $2 donation says, can we still trade Telvin Smith? If so, how? Well, the first way we trade him is if he comes back. No one's going to want to trade for him when he's, sitting on the sidelines at high school football games. So, that'd be the way. And, if he comes back, it'd be more of a salary dump situation. Like, hey, does anybody want him for a 5th, 6th round pick? Here, take him. I'm sure teams would want him, but of course he'd have to go through the physical. They'd have to know, you'd almost want him to go through another combine, make him run another 40, make him bench press. What are you weighing in at? How are you feeling mentally? I'm sure, with his skill set, he was a former All-Pro, Pro Bowl player. You'd imagine some team out there wants him. He's really a perfect linebacker for today's days where, you're getting away from the big old, Derek Brookses out there, the big thick guys, and you're getting more lighter weight, speedy linebackers. He's good for that weak side linebacker spot because he's sideline to sideline, but it's just weird what he did. I've never seen a football player just be like, oh, I'm taking a year off like the way he did. It's just really weird, man. Carty says, were you wearing an MJD jersey? Yes, so. If so, I was a couple rows behind you. Thought it was you. I was wearing an MJD Maurice Sunzer jersey. I was wearing a teal one. So yeah, you were right behind me then. Up in the nosebleeds with me. Joe just says his brother got shot. Yeah, his brother got shot like in 2017. So he played all 2017. So he played all 2018 and then 2019. So I don't think that had to do with it. Maybe it was just family stuff. Maybe it is health stuff. I don't know. Nobody knows unless you actually know him. I know a lot of people are talking about maybe it was Tom Coughlin that drove him out of there. No one really knows. It's all speculation, and I don't like to go too much into that kind of speculation just because. I mean, I don't want to judge a guy if I don't know him personally. You know, I don't want to know. I don't know if he's like on the weed, if he's on the marijuana. I don't know if he's depressed. I don't know what his deal is. So I mean, I'm just gonna hold all judgments on that. Teal Town, see Fred wearing Leonard LSU jersey. Yeah, Fred Taylor lost a bet to Leonard Fournette, so he had to wear an LSU Fournette's old LSU jersey. But I wonder, what if Fred Taylor won that bet? Like, where would Fournette be wearing a Gator jersey? Damn, I'm sure all you Gator fans would have loved to see Fournette wearing a Fred Taylor jersey. Con says, what would you say our biggest need on the team? Our biggest need is definitely tight end. Especially run blocking tight end. I mean, we lost James O'Shaughnessy. He tore his ACL. We lost Jeff Swaim. Josh Oliver's slowly working back. We have a guy named like DeValve or something out there catching balls. I mean, we throw in Cedric Ogbuehi in on different run situations. So I mean, tight end's a big need. I think linebacker depth is big. And I mean, we could always get better at the offensive line. So, you know, those are some main things. Cannon says, biggest Ram fan, thank you, Jags. No, thank you. Thank you for taking that asshole off of our hands. And he's gonna command a lot of money. I mean, I saw his agent tweet out something like, you know, if you owe my player $1, you can't give us. We're not gonna accept 99 cents. So I mean, his agent's a good agent. I mean, he made Landon Collins. He reset the safety market for Landon Collins. He got a huge deal. He's also the agent for Earl Thomas. He got him a pretty big deal. So I mean, he's a really good agent, and I mean, we won't have to pay him all that big money. The boss man says, what do we need to do differently this time around to beat the Texans? I thought a big issue last time was that it was Minshew's first game as a starter, and it felt a lot like in years past where we tried to suppress the playbook for the quarterback because they didn't trust the quarterback. And I didn't think at that time they really trusted Minshew. But now, like, with the way Minshew's playing, like, they can really open the playbook up. And, you know, I just think that we have to play with a super open playbook this time around. And I think that's a big, huge key. But damn, we have 276 people in here, man. I really appreciate everyone for being in here, man. If there's anybody new, definitely drop a like on the video. You know, subscribe if you haven't already. If you're in here, you probably already are. And if you're interested in some UCF Jaguar merch, these shirts, man, I have I have the link to that in my comment section. Every shirt comes with an autographed UCF Jaguar 4x6 picture, so it's good stuff, and it definitely helps me out. But hey, well, while I have people in here, man, I'm just keep doing this. Zach just subscribed. Shout out to Zach for the donation. Every subscription you see, you'll get to see Calais Campbell doing a little bit of doing a sack dance. Justin said, hey man, sorry, just got here, and I'm not sure if you've gone over this before, but do you believe that we make the move, any moves before the trade deadline, possibly at tight end? We definitely are not going to be sellers. We're definitely not going to be sellers. If anything, we're probably going to be buyers, but I don't see much out there that I'd really be trading for. I mean, I'm a conservative guy. I don't even like trading in fantasy football. And you know, last year we made this super urgent, panic move and brought in Carlos Hyde and trade a 5th round pick for him. That didn't really work out. If we want to throw a 5th round pick out somewhere for a guy they really think that is going to make an impact, awesome about me. We'll see. Stannis the Manus just subscribed. Appreciate the subscription, man. Hey says, where are you? I am in the Jaguars locker room right now. Pretty crazy stuff. DTWD, I love when UCF stared. Did I just go offline for a second? That was weird. I think I'm still here though. Am I good, guys? Am I lagging? Forever. Who do you think we draft? I have no idea. Durvo, yeah, I think I might have timed out. Durvo says, when I was looking at Minshew in the preseason, I was scared. I think all of us were scared, man. He did not look super good. Ooh, Ethan with the $5 donation. Appreciate that, man. He says, love your channel. What do you think about Josh Norman and the Jags? I don't think so. I don't know what he would command, but I mean, I'm fine with where we're at right now. Like it's gonna be a really good cornerback draft coming up. So, I mean, I would rather just draft a cornerback in the first round. I'm not sure who are the guys out there, but I mean, I'd rather just draft the cornerback in the draft than be able to have them for 4 or 5 years and just roll with that. I'm not. I don't know. I wouldn't be. I'm good on Norman. Good question though, but I'm good on Norman. Is he even on the trade block? I heard a report that a lot of teams are getting pissed off at the Redskins and Bengals because like they're not like accepting trade offers, or they're not like wanting to trade off their pieces, which is kind of funny. Simmer says, "I love you, no homo." Right back at you, man. Alina's dad says C.J. Henderson. I'm sure a lot of Gator fans want C.J. Henderson. He'd be a good fit. JoJo with a $2 donation. He says A.J. Green. A.J. Green might be a little too rich for me. He might be a little too injured. I don't think A.J. Green is really the like type of receiver I'd really want. Like I'd rather be able to go out on a cheaper and get like a speedier guy, like a Robbie Anderson, a guy that could really take the top off of defense. I mean, A.J. Green's good, but I think for what you give up for A.J. Green, I don't know if I'd want that. And I mean, like I said, man, I mean, we could get some good guys in the upcoming draft too. Like, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm not going to panic and make a trade for somebody, because we have 2 first-round picks next year, man. It's going to be huge. Life of Superstar says, this is my first time actually joining you live. Hey, man, welcome to me live. If you guys are missing my live streams, you can turn on the post notifications and get notified every time I go live. That's always a fun option. Sylvester says, how nervous are you about the Houston game this week? I'm actually not super nervous, man. I think that we have a chance. Like, I think that we match up really well against them, especially with all the injuries on our defense. I'm hoping that we can punch it in their mouth, man, and it's just such a much-needed game. And the thing about the Texans is all their games are super close, but they're good teams find ways to win games, and they have been finding ways to win games. So yeah. Cameron says, love your YouTube channel. Go Jags. Jags fans from Hawaii. Hey, man. Appreciate that. Kenny says, love the channel. I appreciate all the love, guys. Really do appreciate it. Melina's dad's throwing out some names to draft. Wipo says, what is your Twitter? I'm about to follow you. Guys, my social media is down below. I've got Instagram, Twitter. Both of them are at UCF_Jaguar. Definitely give me a follow, man. I'm always tweeting. I'm always posting different stuff on Instagram. A lot of people like to DM me on both of those things. I'm usually pretty responsive. I usually respond within 24 hours. So you can always hit me up on those things, man, and hit me up. Definitely follow me on there, man. Those are my social medias for you. All those things are down below. I have a Discord. I'm not very good at Discord, not gonna lie. So yeah. David Bryan is out of here. Says PCC at Jag. All right, man. I'll catch you later. Wiggle. I know that pains me. That 2-point conversion, man. That pained me. Appreciate for putting the link down there, Jason. But yeah. And that sucks because like they needed to put we were a week late on the Minshew mania on that, because man, if Minshew would have got that 2-point conversion, they would have put in his hands. That would have been huge. And Minshew mania would have started early. We would have been freaking 5-3 right now. We'd be second place in the AFC South, and I mean it'd be nuts. We'd be 2-0 in the division. It'd be crazy, man. White Peepa says, do a call-in show. That would be fun. Last time I did, I wish I could, but last time I was doing it, some kid kept calling in and he kept saying the N-word and just other stuff, and I'm not gonna put up with that. It's disrespectful. It's embarrassing. I mean, it's a problem on a lot of these. It happens to a lot of YouTubers because it's independent people. We don't have call screeners like they do on talk radio, so it's just a lot harder. Tealtown, Texas game hurt the most. Yeah, division games are so important. I mean, we're 0-2 in the games. If you're going to lose any games, then lose the NFC games. I mean, we're already 0-2 in the NFC, so we're doing pretty good at that. But yeah, those are the games that if you're going to pick to lose, you have to lose those. You want to win your AFC games and your division games. And I mean, other than that, I mean, we're what are we right now? Like 4-1 against AFC teams, aren't we? Yeah, I think we're 4-2 against AFC teams. Sean says, but I understand why they went 4-0 at a 2-point. Minshew hadn't earned a trust yet. Yeah, but we weren't running the ball very well all game that game. And Minshew put the team on his back and throw downfield. And, I mean, you're 2.5 yards out of the end zone? I mean, he was super close. And I understand putting the ball in Fournette's hands. And, we ran to the strength of our team. We ran to the left side, which is the strength. But just couldn't get it. And that hurt, man. And football is a game of inches. Probably should have. I mean, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Obviously, we got the 2-point conversion. We should have done it. Great play call. If you don't do it, we should have kicked the extra point. So, I mean, I was fine with going for 2 just because, I mean, they probably didn't want to play in overtime because you got to think 4 games later. They had a Thursday night game 4 games after that. So, I mean, they were about 96 hours away from playing again. So, I mean, I understand them not wanting to put in the extra time, but, yeah. Adrian says, we just need our linebackers healthy. Oh, yeah. And they're getting healthier. I think Quincy Williams will be back good. We got Matt Moon, a Titans fan in here. Purple Cheese Ball says, I'm so happy to be a Jaguars fan. Yeah, it's a good time. And like I said, just enjoy this. So often we just suck at this time and we're already looking at the draft and it's just not fun. It's a fun time right now. It really is. And just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. That's all I can say. Matt says, all love, bro. All love, man. I accept fans of all teams on this channel because if I only had Jaguar fans in here, it'd be a small channel. because doing sports videos is already very niche. Doing NFL videos is also makes it a lot smaller. And then if you want to do videos on Jaguars, it's an even smaller thing. I mean, there's only three Jaguars YouTubers out there right now with Jaganoff and Tree Talk. So it's like it's just very, very small. So always appreciate all of the support, guys. Trainer says, love the channel, Jin Jag. Oh yeah, appreciate it, man. But yeah, I'll be on here for probably number 5 minutes. We got so many damn people in here, 260 people. It's crazy. Usually I don't get this many people for these live streams, but hey man, when the Jaguars are on a 2-game winning streak, when we have what's upcoming, it's pretty exciting. Hunter says, seriously, he's fast as hell, but he keeps getting gassed. Doug says, Fournette played through stomach bug last game. Impressive. Yeah, it's definitely helped out a lot in the I mean, 60 yards in the receiving game. That's really good. Faded Jags, we need this game so bad. Oh yeah, man, we need to go 3-0. 2-1 is acceptable, but none less than that. We can't go 1-2. If we go 1-2, we pretty much have to win out. JoJo with the $5 donation. He says, what would you think about a situation where Foles goes out and plays crazy and we trade Minshew? No. I would not trade Minshew. I would not. I think Minshew is the future of the team. Now, if Minshew could still be the future of the team while you still... and Foles could be our starting quarterback next year and Minshew is still the future. It's just... when you have a guy like Minshew, there's some things you can't teach. You can't teach accuracy. He has accuracy. He has tremendous pocket presence. He's an extremely smart quarterback. He's able to scramble. We don't trade him. Like, we don't trade him. And, I mean, just look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for several years. And, I will not trade Minshew, especially when he's so cheap and we have so much more time with him. Like I wouldn't give him up. Not even for a first round pick. I mean, what's crazy is we could probably at the end of the season probably even trade him for a first round pick, which is crazy. it's so awesome that he's outperforming guys like Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins. It's awesome. But yeah, I mean it's a good question, but I wouldn't do it, especially quarterback. Quarterbacks is so damn valuable. I wouldn't do it. Hunter says Minshew just has a certain vibe and electricity. Yeah, he's awesome. And I mean, I don't know if you guys were at the game, but just like seeing him run out of the tunnel, he just looked angelic. I mean, his hair is like flowing back. He's like, he's just looks like he's just so living in the moment. He's so much fun. He's so Jacksonville. I mean, everyone got behind Blake Bortles because Blake Bortles is a cool dude. I mean, Gardner Minshew's a cool dude too, and he's got the skill set to back it up. I mean, he too is a small town guy. I mean, he's from Mississippi. Spent some time at ECU, went to Pullman, Washington, which is all the way on the East Coast, on the east side of Washington. Almost went to Alabama. He's in Jacksonville now, so it's like such a perfect fit with his personality, and I mean, it's so much fun. It really is. Game-winning drive. Gardner Minshew is the anti-Baker Mayfield. Yeah, man. Gardner Minshew is everything they wish Baker Mayfield was. And if Gardner Minshew, if this offseason, if he can just work on his, if he can just work on, what was I about to say? I completely lost my train of thought. But, his arm strength. If he can work on his arm strength, I mean, that's one thing that he actually has pretty decent arm strength, but if he can get better in that category, I mean, Drew Brees got better at it as the season went on. Even Phillip Rivers did. And not fumbling, obviously. Not fumbling, I mean, I feel like that's a little bit tougher to emulate in the offseason just because, I guess you just keep two hands on a ball. And even that fumble that I feel like that's more of, you get used to it in the game. But even in the, that fumble he had was pretty inexcusable because he had the ball and then he was getting hit and then he tried to throw it while someone was holding his arm and he fumbled. That's inexcusable. And he's had stuff we all remember when Andrew Norwell got driven back into Gardner Minshew and they picked it up and ran for a touchdown. Something like that wasn't good, but that wasn't on him, but some of them definitely is his. Yeah, Joda says basically Bortles opposite with his terrible ball spawn accuracy. Yeah, that's true. Gardner Minshew has a lot better hair than Bortles. That's for damn sure. But yeah, I'll keep this on for another 5 minutes. I appreciate all you guys for coming in here, man. Austin says, how good is this team? I don't know, man. Any given Sunday, I mean, NFL is so great. I mean, a lot of it's all about who's the hot team at the end of the year. Can we get hot? I mean, as long as we stay healthy and, I mean, who the hell knows who our quarterback is going to be? I mean, you really, can't go wrong. But, I mean, that's the thing, man. If Foles all of a sudden comes in there and plays, I mean, a lot of it, they have to have a discussion. I really think Doug Marrone has to have a conversation with the players. You know what I mean? Talk to some of the leaders, talk to Fournette, talk to Chris Conley, talk to Brandon Linder, talk to some of those guys and say, what do you guys think, man? What, you guys have the pulse of the locker room, what should we do? And, just go from there. Austin says, LOL, this is the best. Yeah. I keep saying 5 minutes and I just keep going. I mean, I have 287 people in here. It's pretty crazy. And if you guys are enjoying this, man, drop a like for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All of those links are down below. Kenny says, we would have never known Minshew's abilities if Foles didn't get hurt. Yeah, that's the thing, man. If Foles played all year, we would not have known about this hidden jackpot that we had as our backup quarterback. We wouldn't have seen him until next preseason. And even in the preseason, you'd be like, oh, remember Gardner Minshew, how much he sucked last year? During the preseason. This is pretty crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Jacksonville rocking the ghost costume. After Sam Darnold's ghost stuff. But, alright guys, I'm probably going to head out, man. Josh Burns says, how can we help your channel? I I mean, just subscribing, watching my videos all the way through, that helps to get noticed. I mean, if you guys, I have merch now. I finally bought some merch. I have, a bunch of it left. You can find that in the description box. Every shirt comes with a signed, UCF Jaguar 4x6. So, that's really a good way to support the channel. But yeah, man, just keep watching the videos, subscribing, all that's awesome. But I'll get some last minute shout out to Jason, Josh, Austin, Chris, Faded Jags, Purple Cheese Balls, Jake from State Farm, Trainer Blue, Adrian Taylor, Doug Infotech, Kenny, that dude Evan, Jason Martineau. Yeah, but Austin, the 5 minutes has ended. Thank you guys all for watching. Might be coming out a video tomorrow based off of whether or not the Jaguars, make a big trade. But most likely, I don't think it's going to happen. But thank you guys all for watching. Go Jaguars.